Hello everyone, it's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obi Ajulo or Labisi Ubo, and with me are the ladies. How you doing, Nima?
Grateful to God. Grateful to God. What a weekend and the morning. The rush and all of that. Yeah. I'm grateful to God. It's Alamin's sales day today. So if you like what I'm wearing,
I like it.
And several others that I've worn
I love it.
This rush to our website.
It's like all these tiered cakes.
Sales, so the value is slashed more than half.
Oh.
Yes, she's trying to do clearance and start a new collection, which I'll be launching as well.
Well done, Alamin.
I went to farmers market yesterday, and Gary is no longer 1.5.
How much is it now?
1.2.
Oh, it has come down?
Yes.
What happened?
I just felt that that's good news. So I'm hoping that it will come back down, you know, at least to below 1,000 naira, where I can be doing big game and be saying, do you need Gary? You know, and all of that. But it was just nice. Yes, a few things are coming down, but onions is expensive. So if you can give onions...
I know, because I got onions yesterday.
Somebody sent you onions?
No, I bought onions yesterday.
I was already extending
That's just my banter. A real housewife banter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we are housewives, actually.
Yeah, so
aren't we?
I went to the market yesterday, too.
I'm going today.
I know how expensive onions are. They're quite expensive.
Yeah, I'm going today.
And talking about, I'm fine, talking about housewives, too. So I went shopping yesterday. There's this, I don't know if I can call out their names. So there's this pancake mix, right? It's foreign. Okay. And I've bought it now 5 times within the year. Okay. And every time I've bought it from different supermarkets, and most of the names, big name supermarkets, when I take it home, I find weevils and maggots in them.
Inside, wow.
So it's the same brand over and over again. The first time I bought it from a not so big supermarket, but well-known supermarket, they offered to change it. When they changed, it was still the same thing, and I didn't bother to go back.
Expiry date?
Yes, the expiry date not expired. Wow. It's supposed to expire in 2023. Wow. Now the big shops have them, and it's the same problem. So at first I thought it was the storage of the supermarket, but now I'm thinking of the storage from wherever it is that they're importing it from. And obviously, it's either people are not talking to them about it, or no one, you know, or they have spoken to them, and you know how Nigeria is. You still stock some of these things and get away. We need to talk about it.
On this issue, customs.
Okay.
If it's an imported item, the days and time is spent on the sea to get cleared because of COVID and what customs are doing. So when the distributor now gives to the shops, and the thing does not have the kind of preservative that will prevent weevil.
Because it's a
so it's healthy for us to eat. We get to know we are dealing with.
But they do to us the same thing now abroad. If the thing has passed the time where it's supposed, they will not even, you will not even bring it down from your container. But here we're able to put it on our shelves. It's not right. It's wrong.
And I really do not even believe in that pancake mix. I like to mix the flour from beginning if I want to make
even
pancakes.
Flour,
it does not matter. The point is not about the mix.
No, I know.
The point is about that you do not put on the shelves and sell to people something that is wrong, that's not good.
Be very careful. All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Let's start with the nation. 60 held over mob lynching of policeman in Lagos. Streets begging. Al-Majiri, not Islamic, says Sultan. Rising air travel raises hopes on new careers. German SPD leads in race to succeed Merkel. Zoning tears PDP apart. Makinde and him lead opposing groups, stormy days ahead. Nigeria at 61 remains Africa's shining star, says Osibaju. Bianca, why I shunned APGA's rally? Abductors free 10 Kaduna pupils. VAT row. Firms remit August returns to FIRS. Who has what story in the nation?
Let me start with the good news.
Okay, go ahead.
So 10 more pupils of that were abducted from Bethel Baptist High School have been released, and this is after 81 days. The Kaduna State Chapter Chairman of CAN, Reverend Joseph Hayab, confirmed this yesterday. And he also said that we have 11 of the pupils still in the bandits' den, and he expressed hope that they too will be released shortly. So that's the news for now. We remember now, this is since July 5th, 81 days. These children are still in captivity with thank God that they are coming out, but we hope that. But there are other schools as well. There are other children still in captivity.
But
We
even
hope
this
that
one, I
it will
think we
change.
should have like 11 left in captivity.
That's what they
by
said.
their calculations.
Yes, I said 11 more left in the dens of the abductors.
Have a story in Nation?
I had the VAT story.
Go ahead.
According to the Nation's report, companies are started paying the VAT to the FIRS for August.
Oh.
It was due on the 21st of September, and they started paying. Some companies are still not paying. This is following the directive of the Attorney General and the Minister for Finance that the FIRS remains the agency to collect. And because they don't want to fall into the section that penalizes for default, companies are just hurrying to pay. In confusion because there are still laws, state laws in the states where they are operating that they have to pay to. I think this is clearly a conflict of law issue, and the courts have the power to settle it once and for all. So the states involved should quickly file and let us get clarity on this. But in the meantime, because the Minister for Finance started addressing that the sections of the VAT law, if contravened, will be penalized against those companies who are withholding theirs. I'm wondering, how do we solve this problem? Because, you know, it's an issue that will now need to be paid to the states if the states now win the Supreme Court's clarity that they're trying to get. So I hope that there's an arrangement between the federal government and the states government that even though these companies pay to them, as soon as the law settles who should take what, they should just revert monies to those states so that the companies
continue from where they stopped.
No, they shouldn't continue from what you've collected for the period when the matter is in court.
They have to send it back.
Should be sent back.
Okay. Yes. All right, let's take one more story in the Nation. I took this story last week where a chief superintendent of police, Kazim Abondi, was killed while on duty in the area, I think at Jao Estate area of Lagos. And they are saying now that 60 suspects have been taken into custody based on that, and they narrated exactly how it happened. They were on duty with the bike men. I think some of them were beginning to seize their bikes. And then because he didn't have tear gas to dispel the mob when they were coming after them, he told his officers not to shoot and just find a way to run. But they ran and left him. He was left alone there. And then those people murdered him in cold blood. And according to the story, they said he has already said he was going to be off patrol duties because he'll be retiring in a few months' time. So, you know, it's just a painful story. We're sorry for...
I hope that these are not just innocent people picked up on the streets.
That's another thing.
Because sometimes when we want to now revenge
punish somebody,
we then pick everybody that was working innocently.
Let's go to the Punch. Federal government places 3,964 Nigerians on watch list, suspends passports. 330 Nigerian refugees in Chad, Niger, and other countries. ASU meets next week over planned strike, laments government inaction. Nigeria needs $400 billion to close energy shortfall, says Buhari. Northern governors meet on VAT today, sans berates Malami. Inbound travelers bribe officials to evade tests, experts warn of spike. Flight passengers bribe officials with 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira to underpay, evade tests. Virologists knock officials, allege evaders responsible for high community transmission. Kwara man who allegedly buried 9-year-old with 1,000 notes arrested. ICPC arraigns 2 suspects for defrauding RCCG of 10 million over land. Abductors free 10 Baptist students, keep 11 victims. You've taken that story. Fashola Akpabio disown groups promoting ministers' 2023 campaigns. Lagos clubhouse kicks as 100 policemen, thugs demolish buildings, arrest workers. A forex crisis, massive job losses loom. Profits shrink, say man, MAN, others. What's the story here?
The major headline.
Okay,
Got the major headline. So virologists and health workers are, warning us about a possible spike in the COVID-19 infections in our country because of corrupt practices that are going on at the airports. So we know that for those who are traveling into Nigeria, what is expected was that they would pay for their COVID-19 test. And then when they get to the airport, they will show proof of payment for that test. And then they would now be sent to a lab and they'll get tested. But what happens now is they will come in and they'll just pay either 10,000, 15,000 naira, and they don't need to take the test and they can go home. And then for those who pay, they pay 51,000. I think this one says they pay 51,400. And they are not even attached to any lab. They're just allowed to go. And they also said that the NCAA had also sent out a memo saying that the style where they would pay before they come in should be relaxed, and they should come, when they come in, then they can pay for, then that's when they will pay for the test. But, you know, when they come in, they are able to pay the 10,000, 15,000 and go away. NCAA says, well, the reason why they did is that a lot of people on the portal were having issues. And so they said, okay, when you come in, you pay for it. Then the presidency also said that, see, first of all, it's not even 51,400, it's 39,000. Why are people paying 51,400 for? Wow. But they will look into it. They also asked the airport authorities what was happening. The head says that, see, she's not even aware that this sort of racketeering is going on, but they will investigate. Well, we know, we all know, we're Nigerians, we know that it has been going on for a while. Anyone that says they haven't known is just
They will investigate.
And they will investigate. So we'll see what happens from here. But the problem is our problem, because if you take the infection home, if you don't take the test, you take the infection to your family, and they will spread it.
Yeah. Go ahead. You have
So the president, you know, he has addressed the United Nations General Assembly. And when he was asked about what we'll be doing to, you know, to leave fossil fuel energy, he decided to give details. He said we'll be needing 300 billion naira dollars for electricity generation, transmission and distribution infrastructure. And we would need about $116 billion for funding of buildings, industry and transport facilities, according to the Bloomberg, who quoted him. He said this is a huge amount, it's almost the size of our entire GDP for 2020, and these monies will be needed to shore up Nigeria's energy access deficit by 2030. So this is money that he's asking for funding for us to use. Also, the Minister for Works and Housing and the Minister for the Niger Delta Ministry have all both come out to deny any intention to run for any office, saying that any group, for you know, fielding them as their candidates for any elections should be disregarded.
All right, let's quickly move on to Daily Trust before we go on a break. Khan honors Imam who saved Christians from attack. Flight delays worsen as passengers lament. Infrastructure must grow by 5% annually to boost productivity. Terrorists attack military base in Sokoto, kill 15 personnel. Troops foil Boko Haram attack on Yobe town. Media should run as business to serve its purpose. Pan chair. Who has what story here? Moving quickly?
Yes, okay, yeah. Khan, the Christian Association of Nigeria has honored Imam Abdullahi Abubakar, who we remember in 2019 saved 200 Christians from attack in Birkin Ladi from Boko Haram. And the Khan president, they said, conferred the award on Imam Abubakar on the 45th anniversary of Khan and the Khan Day Award of Excellence and Dinner. And we remember he had also been honored previously by United States government in July of 2019. So it's good. The vice president was there as well. I like that we did that. Okay. Although I feel like it took a while, but I like that we do that to foster that relationship and highlight what is important amongst religion, which is, you know, we are there for each other. We are brothers keepers. So,
so the newspaper reviews continue after this break. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built, state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it? Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Welcome back. Still on the Daily Trust. I wanted to take the story of the flight delays. So our passengers are lamenting concerning the incessant flight delays, in some cases cancellations in the different airlines across the country. So Daily Trust had to do a report on that, and they realized that there's a particular airline. They mentioned the name. I don't know if I should have them mention the name here. I shouldn't. Yeah. That keeps cancelling flights. There was a flight that was meant to go from Abuja to Bauchi the other day. A 5-hour delay was given. No excuse was given to the passengers. And they also complained that by the time you miss your flight, you pay extra. Like, they really charge high for people who miss their flight. And so they can cancel without telling you anything. So passengers will have to stay at the airport for a long time with no excuse. So they also mentioned a few other airlines that are involved in this. However, the management of this particular airline came out to say that the problem they're having is that of weather. So it's not really their fault that some of these flights are being cancelled. Exactly.
Do people pay for flights cancelled by airlines?
No, you don't pay, but they don't tell you the reason for cancellation. So if you had a meeting, you would likely have missed.
When they miss their flight, they need to pay. That's understandable. But when they miss their flight due to a fault of the airline, they are supposed to be compensated.
To be paid, yes, that's the thing.
So that's the international rule.
Standard.
No so they don't pay compensation, then they still make you pay.
Yeah,
Nigerians should start using their powers. There was an airline, this popular one, who would lose people's bags and still make Nigerians suffer. When we decided to sue, myself and Shewan at the time, She didn't believe
I heard that
she
story,
the way she was compensated because of the standard rule.
Wow.
But she wasn't the only one on that flight. Most people went home and left it. So you
left it for God to handle.
God. It took us 2 years in court, but she got her compensation.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, the major headline. So bandits sadly have attacked a military base in Sokoto. They killed about 12 people were killed, 9 military officers and 12, and then 3 NSCDC officials. This happened, they said, the early hours of Friday, but because of the telecommunications shutdown, we know in parts of Sokoto and Katsina and Zamfara, it affected the news getting to, to us. And they said that the bandits themselves, because of the shutdown, have been using the Nigerian telecommunications to communicate with themselves and, to carry out all these heinous crimes. The federal government is saying that over 10 trucks loaded with armed soldiers are right now in the forest trying to trail these bandits. Really sad. Our soldiers are constantly, they're at the war front fighting for protecting our territory. God just give them success.
Okay, let's take the points. Economy. Early mistakes of Buhari's administration. Shegun Aganga. What Jonathan did differently. Why CBN can't act alone on Forex. Nigeria at 61, our greatest problem is death of conscience, Ezefe. Lawyers behind conflicting rulings by judges, Yusuf Ali. Ebonyi community where bodies of women who died during pregnancy rot in evil forest. I took that. Nigerians confused as NBS growth figures contradict economic reality. Okay, so who has a story here?
I have the Yusuf Ali story. Okay. So Yusuf Ali is the senior advocate of Nigeria and is the pro-chancellor and chairman governing council of Osun State University, and is also the chairman of the pro-chancellors of state-owned universities in Nigeria. He was addressing an issue. The reason I took him is because I wanted his pedigree to precede this question. Okay. While I'm giving an interview on his recent award and acknowledgement by Osun State government marking their 30 years, he talked about the state of the judiciary. And when he was asked about the conflicting judgments that judges had, he first of all answered by, referring to a question on the keynote paper presented by the former VC, my own VC of LASU, Professor Larry Fagbon, SCN as well, on the state of our judges' emoluments and entitlements,
when they
remuneration,
retire,
while they're practicing. And he compared them to that in England, which is supposed to be our standard, and complained about how poorly they are being treated. Now, when you bring it to the question of how the judgments are conflicting, you cannot be far from the lawyers. Because when a lawyer earns and is well remunerated than a judge, of course, you can then approach the judge at the level that he is. While growing up, I wanted to be a judge. I felt that, they were well cared for, they were protected, they were people of integrity. It was a standard we were pushing.
Everybody looked forward
to, to have. And then now when you see the way that, judges used to have this standard because when they had to face the NJC for any corrupt practices, it totally destroys the person. There was one judge at the time who I used to hear about how he was removed from the bench for this kind of thing. And it didn't affect this child who I later met. But, now we don't throw shame. No. Politicians are well paid than the people who would hold the standard that forms the foundation of society.
That's the life. So in Amasiri community, Afibo, North local government area of Ebonyi State, there is a culture of throwing women who die pregnant away, more like into the evil forest. So according to that culture, when a woman dies while pregnant, you are buried outside your husband's compound instead of inside. So you're buried outside, but after 7 days, then they will go and do a burial. According to them, they will invoke your spirit and then give you a proper burial. And that's how it's been happening. However, people have been saying that these are some of the cultures we should do away with that are not really serving us. So it's not like the person committed a crime or was ostracized by the society. You died pregnant, it's not of your own doing, so you should be buried properly. But a particular woman died recently, and that brought about, I'm trying to get her name, that brought about this issue. However, the state has weighed into it. There's another task force on gender-based something in that area that also waded into it, and they are trying as much as possible to see that this woman is given a proper burial, you know, which fulfills her human rights as a human being, whether she died pregnant or the culture has something.
What you just said just brought to mind the video that we saw of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, where she was showing us the number of people that died of COVID-19 in the US and how they, you know, remember them and have memory, you know, that you can see how many people, but they've also put them in such a way that
we remember them as human beings.
You remember them, you understand that these were not just numbers, these were human beings. Meanwhile, here in our culture, we just throw people away for being female and pregnant.
Tradition and culture. Let's move on to the Sun. Anambra, why I shunned APGA campaign, flag off, Bianca Ojukwu. PDP leaders in dilemma over choice of chairman. Experts fault federal government's 12 trillion oil subsidy claim. APC mulls December for national convention. PIA, Nigeria introduces 2% yearly increase on royalty. Inflation, FX scarcity trigger 140 billion outflow from NGX in 8 months. Nigeria suffering from leadership failure, Wike. Expectations, fears as CBN rolls out e-Naira October 1st. Does anybody have any story here? In the Sun?
In the Sun.
Okay, so I took this Governor Wike, and they had a convention, I think, a church service organized in commemoration of the 61st independence anniversary of Nigeria at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Port Harcourt, yesterday. And he was saying that Nigeria is still struggling with leadership challenge even after 61 years. And there's nothing that we can really celebrate aside from hatred, mediocrity, to promote ethnicity and religion. And he lamented how Nigeria has evolved from one problem to the other. I was actually waiting to hear him, you know, give the way forward, so to speak, but he was just, he said we should focus on God. This is the time that Nigeria needs to pray more than ever. Moving on to the Vanguard. Do we have time for the Vanguard? We have to go. No time.
No.
All right.
So we will not hear about how over, 330 Nigerians are refugees in Chad, Cameroon, and Niger. So we have about 16,634 in Chad. We have 113,409 in Cameroon, 186,957 Nigerians in Niger. And of course, the story is due to the protracted insurgency in the northeast and the northwest, armed banditry, farmers' herders clash, flood in different places, and this has caused the movement of people out of Nigeria. Wow. We have a serious humanitarian problem on our hands. Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we discuss our hot topic for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Mimi.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria, on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most...
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup?
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script?
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR?
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Threatened to expel students in senior secondary school classes 1 and 2 who apply for and sit for the external West African Senior School Certificate Examination, or the National Examination Council, NECO, and National Business and Technical Examinations, MBTE. According to them, senior secondary school 1 and 2 who participate in the examinations are distracted from achieving their goals. What are your thoughts on this? Join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. So I remember in my time, we had these students who their parents made to write the examinations, the external examinations in SS1 and SS2. And I know the pride that they used to come inside class when they are finished, especially those of them that eventually pass, you know. So I know that they have this way of, I don't even need these classes anymore. I will shun classes. I don't even need to pay attention anymore. And some of them challenge their teachers. And we're not given the opportunity to write these exams. We always feel like, what do we do now? You know, so I understand the sort of distractions that happen, especially with children who see themselves as, I'm already bigger than this. I'm just here now for a few months and I'm out of here. And I may not even continue the school. But is expelling them the way forward?
That's what I think it's not serious like that. Never reach like that. You know, there are several ways to raise a child beyond books. Morals, you know, humility, key values. that we also learned from school. I just made a joke of Mrs. Sekobe, VP at the time, that, you know, some things that we learned from her while in school. But I was one of those students who wrote WAEC in SS2.
Okay. And you passed? And how was
I did
your
not pass all my
disposition?
subjects. But the subjects I needed to study law, I aced them.
Okay.
And I remember my father saying, just go and try, because me, I don't even know. God, I'm such a playful girl. If you don't catch me climbing tree, plucking something, you know, everybody worried around me. And maths was such a poor subject for me. So he wanted me to see how serious it would be in exams. And I remember once I had my 6 papers I was like, these are what I need for law now. He says, not in my house. You see that maths that you fail there, if you fail it in your WAEC, so the work was double. I improved on the mistakes I made in my GC at the time. I remember when I was writing my WAEC, my focus was on those 3 subjects that I didn't do well in the GC. It was,
so I was mark it up.
Because I know these ones are subjects that off the head, I had this good retentive memory. It would work, but the subjects that needed application,
it was a
my
problem.
biology, my maths, come and see me at the exams. Struggling, it was work. Because I knew I'd seen the questions in the previous exam I did, and I didn't do well. I didn't look at the question and the answer just came. Unlike with other subjects, I just look at the question and said,
you know the answer.
And I worked at it. And when I made it, I felt the reward was to come, and the reward included retouching my hair,
using lip gloss,
and you know, promoting to a certain level. And I loved it. I don't think that the problem is with the exam. No.
Okay.
I think the problem clearly is with parenting and why parents think they should do it. Right now, my daughter is is in primary 4, and I'm already considering common entrance. Reason is because she's like me, plucking trees, climbing, everything, playing. So I want her to see the seriousness of exams early.
Okay.
And you know, maybe that will prepare her for next year or the year.
You shouldn't be faulted for that.
But it is a standard in my house that, just like in my parents' house, that she will complete her primary classes and should complete whatever it takes to complete secondary school classes. But that does not stop her from taking any exam.
Okay.
So it's parenting.
Okay, that's awesome. Miriam.
I don't have a problem with children writing these exams before they're meant to write it, before they get to the class where they are supposed to write them. Because, as you said, it's good practice. My child, who's in primary 6 now, wrote common entrance examinations for primary 5. And I did it with the teacher because he was so playful. He thought, you know, he had seen it all. I'm smart. I know what I'm saying. I know everything. So the teacher and I sat down. She says, let's pick the most difficult schools.
For him?
Yes, for him. And then he wrote there, and he was humbled. He came home, he was crying. He said, Mommy, I'm not ready. That was what I was trying to teach my child. And that's what a lot of parents are also trying to teach them. It's not also about just teaching them humility. It's also for them to understand how much work they would need to put in. Sometimes it's even important because when that major exam comes, if you've never come across it before, you get scared, all sorts of jitters. But if you've tried them a few times before, when you get in there for the final one, when it's your time to write it, those jitters, you know, you don't have them, and you're able to concentrate on doing the work and passing the exams. And for some of us, it was even just the externals we wrote. So it was, you know, it was not as if you had to sit down with your own schoolmates. It was externals where everybody could write it. And I don't think there's any problem with it. I think it's a good thing to do to prepare children for what they need to do. Now, handling it by saying you expel children because they are pompous, it just shows to me that you have decided that you are not in the business of training children to be, you know, well-rounded. You have a child who has done something that's not bad, but there's an offshoot of overconfidence. You don't punish overconfidence, or you don't teach overconfidence by expelling a child. The child did not commit a crime. The child just needs to be taught how to be humble, understand. So what I would do if I was in their cases, I'll put them in a special class. Let's see how intelligent you think you are. We'll give you tough subject. We'll give you tough aspects of the subjects. We'll give you even much more homework, and then let's see.
Do they have the time for that?
That's it. So that is where I was going to. It's lazy, as we call it, lazy teaching. You are thinking, how do we do it in such a way that we don't stress ourselves too much? Let's just throw them out of school. It makes no sense.
I went to command, and those who were in my set, they will remember this. So there was this WAEC writing Wahala for people in SS2 at the time, the year before mine. And so the school created what they call their own mock. It was called...
Mock exams, yeah.
Yes, our NAEC.
Yeah.
It was a national for all military schools. And the national one, when it comes, it's harder than the normal WAEC you're supposed to write. So that the products that comes out from our sets are always, and the school used to be proud of those knowledge and discipline, our products are this and that. But it was the work. So when you're writing the NAEC and you're supposed to be a GC candidate who had already done it before, what they do for you is that you write your exams on the field. In the open air, the spacing. Your enemy
you can't even stretch neck.
Your enemy said that's closest to you is a friend at that moment. And they used to do it so that when WAEC board comes to school, when we're writing WAEC, they're proud of, even when they're sitting together, of how comported the children were. I remember that 98 set people, their exam. We were looking at them that, God forbid, this was our fate. But the truth is that parents abuse this. Some parents do it and then they come around because parents like to boast. Parents who have conversations and it's their children's achievements in school that is conversation for Pepe Bele, you know, for friends, force their kids to write the WAEC for the show off. They don't bother about the child's maturity. But so you have to separate, because if you say you must punish all because of such parents, you defeat the purpose for other parents who genuinely have kids that they need to worry about.
Okay,
you know?
Let me even ask you this question. So I know that when we were growing up, we're still a lot better than the crop of children we are raising right now in terms of, we were mostly scared to even challenge the status quo, or challenge our parents or our teachers. But the children of these days will look at you in the face and ask you why. So let's take, for instance, that this, the federal government have, you know, through observation and investigation, found out that those students who go out to write those external exams come to school and they're not paying attention anymore. They are distracting people who have not even done the examinations. And they decided to, okay, let's find a way to take these people out of school, advise them not to do these external exams. Is that wrong?
Well,
because they're trying to protect other children who have not.
Exactly. You're right. So this is a conversation you'll be having with the parents of your children and also parents of those who are prospective, you know, exam candidates, where you say, these are some of the things we've noticed with previous students. Are you sure you want to do this? Because it may be counterproductive, where you're hoping that your child would understand how much is in front of them and how much they need to study. There's also the flip side where the child feels quite confident or overconfident and is refusing to pay attention because they feel they've done it and they have passed it.
And disrupt other children.
And then now it's left to the parents to decide if they want to do it. About disrupting the other children, excuse me, please. Do they take the pens off the children? Do they stop them from reading? They are just going about boasting, being a boastful child.
Peer pressure.
No, but do we throw children out for peer pressure? Do we throw them out because somebody has done better than us, making me feel pressured and I don't feel up to that person? No, you teach the other ones who we're hoping that this will also teach the other children that when you meet situations like that, it should push you to do better. Like, okay, so this guy knows how he did it and passed it. Please, guy, what did you do? That is how you build well-rounded individuals. They are going to go out into the real world. They are going to meet pressure. They are going to meet colleagues that are doing better than you. Should we now sack people who are doing better than us because it's making us feel pressured? No. Instead, you find different ways to collaborate. You find teachers then when some children were doing better than others. Okay, guys, reading circles, reading groups. You put them as leaders. Are the head of this and make sure that, you know, we need to be creative. We cannot just be throwing people around and be punishing everything and everyone just because it's not convenient.
Schools should also make it a well-rounded reward system where if someone is not an academic, it's a skill. You know, teach other things that a child you can celebrate children about so that it's not a competition of who knows what. I remember back in school, we had that competition. Amongst even siblings. I remember my WAEC, the best of our math sets, the people we looked up to for maths were surprised that some of us Diolodos made maths. Yes, it was true because I remember the WAEC had taken a few days to release my maths result. And when it finally came and I made it, I was like,
you didn't believe yourself.
How did I even make it to this point? Because the slowest would have just been okay. You know, I was really poor. I didn't know the formulas. I had a book from my WAEC GCE. I wrote a dictionary of formulas. And 2 days to exam, somebody stole it. Imagine the madness. that I went into, I was like, I can never pass this exam.
You should have studied before.
You know, because I used to carry it around. Every math you give me, I refer quickly, and I did not know that I'd done my reading until the exams. So sometimes it is not about that best student. You don't know the work another person had to put in. I know the work I put in. I know how many those I was called, and I was like, okay, thank you. And I used to appreciate it. Thank you for calling me. I want to prove all of you wrong. I put in the work. So if you now come and say you want to punish or you want to reward, you defeat the purpose. For me, for instance, I remember my daughter would come home and she too had this competitive mentality right from primary 2. Can you imagine? I had to sit her down, auntie, you're very good at this and this and this, and I'm appreciative of it. You're talking to your child and you're saying, look, these are your areas of weakness. This is what I want to do as a parent, answer on to do something about it. And the school system now makes it impossible. No, now. We should have a proper PCA meeting where these are addressed.
Yes.
So the parents who are not raising proper children should be shamed instead of the children who are
being expelled.
You know, yes, the parents who should be shamed. Those whose children are coming up or they are raising them to go and show off results should be shamed because the larger world is still a tougher world out there.
All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll take phone calls and messages. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts and lasts and lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ mọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. So let's talk about the fact that a lot of parents want the best for their children. And because of the way the system is, there are certain jobs that when you graduate late for, there's a cap on it. You are not able to get that job. And so you see the pressure on parents trying to push their children to write examinations, get into the university at the age of 14 or 13. How does that affect the overall child at the end of the day?
This should be the concerns of the government, since they are looking into whether they should even register in the first place. They created this system. They and the silence around ages of employment, all those things that happen during recruitment, created this problem. I can't be in the labor market and see what is obtaining and not protect my child against it.
Exactly.
That's what most parents are doing.
Yeah.
So if you, except you have the means to create your own employment for your child, you want to beat the system. So parents want to get their child to write WAEC at 16, get into a private university, graduate at 21, and so they can say, my child qualifies no matter what. Even some will beat the child, or try to circumvent the system to get a first class, because jobs are looking for 2-1 above.
Of course.
So they're doing everything. Nigerians are now in that place where we're managing this and managing that. If the concern of government is an all-round, well-grounded child, if it is the concern of government, we take out all these worries, and parents will let the child do the system. I remember then, when we were in school, people were made to repeat classes by their parents. Parents will say, if you are supposed to repeat, what is stopping you?
I repeated, though.
So repeat your class, it will make you a better person. Yeah. But some parents will now get to the ages of getting admission and see the struggle that the child is using to get admission. The child has made an exam, but the cutoff of schools in our time was, not be this one that did
very high,
was pushing you back home. You spend a full session, you write again, you write again, you write again for the courses that you wanted. And they didn't appreciate the way government was lax on it. It was a revenue drive for JAMB, and the JAMB was never concerned about whether the child was a well-rounded child at the end of the day.
Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan from Lekki. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Please, this is a national issue and educational matter. And we should stop being subjective. I listened to the two people, Maria and Nima.
Hello, are you there? We lost him.
I really wanted to hear
what he had to say.
But usually when Hassan calls, he always talks about being sentimental and things like that. So I sort of guess, but let me not guess. Hope he calls back. See, I understand. Okay, first of all, I want to say well done to parents who think about making sure a child is a certain age and can get into a certain job. Just listening to that makes me feel like a bad parent, because I don't think that.
You don't think that way, right?
I don't think that way. what I think is that I want to build and raise a child that would be able to thrive, survive,
irrespective
of whatever define themselves. I don't know if I'm not like those parents who feel so sure of the future like that, that I can determine year in, month in, what will happen. You know, so I just want to, because I know how it was raising me now, all the dreams that we had, and some things fell by the wayside, and some things worked that we were not looking at. But what was important is that this child, wherever they find themselves, they'll be able to survive, and then they will thrive. And so that's what I would prefer parents should concentrate on. That you're trying to bring up a child that, you know, we had parents who never believed their children would even go abroad, and then one day they'll write an examination, they get a scholarship and they go abroad. And because it's not only about the passing the work, it's also about their maturity. I've seen children who, while they were in school or with their classmates, they were not doing well, then they repeated the class. Then they started excelling because right now they had gotten, they were now mature
to handle.
And now, you know, in their class now, they were in their right class and doing the right thing for their own age and for their level of maturity.
Let me take this call from Favor. Good morning, Favor from Warri.
Good morning, beautiful ladies of YourView. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'd like to, you know, air my view on your first topic. It's
Go
a
ahead.
very one, but it's just that the federal government, I don't think they have actually looked into this situation very well because, you know, our children, just like you said, that the way we were tutored is not the way we are now. So if you don't follow up your child, I had a child when my child was in transport. I made him someone in transport. The plane was too much, you know. We didn't have the time, but if he said 1 minute, federal government called a child that you see. So by the time he got to 76 and wrote it, he passed this excellently well. So that made him to be responsible. You understand? So I didn't know what was cooking in there. And that he sell SS2, SS1, and I said, to find out that we are going to make life easier for these people, even for us. Because we don't know when these people get to SS2. They are played and played, and but once they experience things in the performance, they will be able to speak, you know, excellently. You don't have to wait money and they start repeating. You know how many times a lot of us wrote WAEC or SC. You will hear people say, I wrote it 5 times, I wrote it 6. So it's not like this because parents try to do the next because our parents, they didn't have that time that many of our markets all that.
Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Favor. It's a bit muffled, so I didn't get everything. But we have another caller, Jeffrey from Jibo. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I want to contribute to what President said. It's not about them saying that they will expel the students. Who are they expelling? Most of, let's use myself as an example. I think SS2 or thereabouts, I wrote GCE. Unknowingly for me, when I go to my center, I met my class. We met at the center in the same hall. We were like, how manage now? You need to tell me that you're going to write. That was how it all started. And from there, we got at the end of the result, we made it wasn't even made known in school. Nobody knew about it. It's not about you expelling them. We are the ones in this same Nigeria. Now, figures have been coming out from, I think you said that children out of school. You expelling them, are you not adding to the problem on ground? And then you say they are Amajuris. Why would there be Amajuris? When we ourselves, we are the problem of ourselves. Are we going to say that these so-called leaders, they don't have sense or what? Whereas their children, they're not in Nigeria. They kept them, they are in abroad. Before you know it, they've graduated, young people. So what are we saying? Let them look for solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're wrapping up. You have a message?
Okay, Fadeke Misola says, here, kids are allowed to write PSAT and before SAT, just for prepping purposes. Emmanuel says, FG policies are always oppressive. If a child's capacity can cope with higher grade exams, why buy him or her from partaking? And the system are the ones benchmarking employment eligibilities with age clueless. Daisy says all the schools need to work on changing the system to accommodate all students academically. The others made a joke. Okay, Olamide Adela says parenting is an English word, meaning those who worry about a lot.
So what I hear, you say is the fact that our parents need a lot of reorientation on how they handle these children and how they prepare them for life irrespective of what happens, just like you rightly said. And also government needs to find creative ways to handle issues like this. That's all we can take on this segment. The show continues after this break. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter script?
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All tip in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show is Professor Samuel Udewumi, the Dean, School of Transport at the Lagos State University, LASU. He will be discussing the lingering Apapa gridlock that has been one of the biggest contributors to our economy as a country. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Professor Samuel. So first of all, I would like you to help us x-ray the problem of Apapa gridlock. So we have, she's from that axis, and almost every day on the show, she laments about what happens on that axis, what the residents are going through. Can you tell us exactly what the problems are?
Yeah, thank you. But before I do that, let me do what you people call banter.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
It was my wife that introduced me to the program.
Aww.
And I've loved it for a long time.
Welcome, sir.
I was pained when they moved it to from 9, because if I miss it in the morning, I won't miss it. But later, we now can catch it on. You are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Then
Thank you, Ma.
I send my heartfelt condolence to Morayo on the demise of our mom. We wish her fortitude and the family to bear the loss. And we wish our spirit to wake up in joyful activity.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, about Apapa gridlock, you will allow me to rant too. It's also
ahead,
another of you do that very frequently. And, she's representing us very well.
Yeah, she is.
Anybody living in that axis and you have flesh and blood and you know what is being wasted and the agony people go through every day, you cannot but lament like she's doing. You see, I will call out 3 people on the first instance as part of my lamentation or my ranting. I will call our dear Governor, Sanwo-Olu, that Apapa gridlock was part of his campaign. And immediately he was sworn in,
90 days.
That was one of his first port of call. He went there and he assured the nation, and Lagos State in particular, that he will do all it takes to clear that gridlock. Because a lot is at stake. We'll get to that. Just about a few months ago, he went back there. And because you could see visibly that he was frustrated, and he said, with this particular instance, after this, we will name and shame those who are making things impossible. So my first question is, what happened?
Where is the name?
Where are the names? Where is the shame? Because this is something we cannot just surrender. If you are talking about price of things, how can a nation have a situation where all you do is import and you are not exporting anything? Some few months ago, they shut down export for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And currently, you allow about 500 or 300 containers to come in. On a daily basis, you are able to clear them. You are not able to clear 30 to go out.
So they go back empty?
Tope is in cashew business. I think if she's here today, she will tell you what they are experiencing to get their cashew outside. These are the things that will help the Naira.
Yes.
Yet, we seem just not to be bothered. So, the governor, this is not something you can just surrender and say, this is the way. You have to. When I send people on errand, and I must mention, I left my deanship about 2 months ago. Professor Charles Aseneme is now the dean. I was dean for about 6-7 years. So people still always call, even the dean calls me the dean. So now, that is that. The governor got Tony Fayinka, his essay, to tackle that problem. We will get to that. So I will rest with the governor that this is not something you can surrender. Number 2 person I will call out is the Minister of Transport. He himself has tackled that problem. He came, when the president visited the place about maybe a few months ago, they cleared the place. So he himself said, and I've said, so this thing is doable.
Yes.
If you can clear this place, it means there is something mischief or deliberate action to frustrate the success of clearing this place.
Yes.
So I will call him out. The acting MD now, that he should not confirm him. In fact, actually, he should give him a mandate that for us to confirm you as the substantive MPMD, you have to clear this particular, that is your assignment.
Yeah.
And I will repeat, when we are talking, people don't know the extent of the importance, because that's the truth, the esophagus of the country.
The economy.
Everything goes in there, and that is the only way the economy can survive. Then I'll call on, army chief is usually not easily frustrated. So I find it funny. We had a National Council on Transportation in Abuja. This came up, and I had a chat with the permanent secretary. They have 2 ladies who are helping the minister now, Dr. Madeline Ajani and Dr. Mercy Lori. You know where women are, they tend to move things. They are really, I said, look, what about this? They said they came to Lagos to spend out a week to study, and the Saraki is also the female minister that is handling that. So now, that is for the minister. That's the last person I'm calling out is the president. Corruption is one of his critical pillars of governance. We are spending a whole lot of money to go and exhume dead issues of corruption. But here is corruption today doing catwalk.
Currently.
Doing catwalk naked with high heel.
Hey.
Between my 2 and Apapa. We will go into the details. We will mention where they are collected, about 14 points.
Well, we'll break it down, sir. We'll break it down, sir. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, this conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Someday when I grow up, I would like to be a great innovator, or a singer, or a doctor, or even a president.
I believe my son can achieve anything. That's why I support his dreams with Twisco. It's a delicious mix of cocoa, malt, and milk. Twisco.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù.
àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ yẹn.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọyẹ kọ́ mọ píjẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
We had the chairman of the Truckers Association come in last time, and one thing he kept saying was human interference, especially as regards to the call-up system. Could you please break that down for us?
I watched it. See, let me first of all give how things should be.
Okay.
Then how it is being sabotaged. As a professor, I've taken a research from Telfon on part of Apapa gridlock. When Okwefa was about to do his PhD, he did it with me. I supervised him. I said, please do your PhD on this Apapa. But he said, for political reasons, he cannot be doing that work and be doing his research there. You see, whether you do it manually or digitally, they are now on digital formats. So let me stay with that. The idea is like you kill some people outside Lagos. Okay. Stay at Ogere, stay at Ijebu-Remo, stay at Ibadan. Don't come in yet. Then when they register on that platform, like a normal platform. If you go to ShopRite, they will give you a ticket, and it is the barcode that when you pay that allows you to go. Yeah, so those things are programmed. That not only that they give you a barcode to pass, they will now give you that barcode series, so that it will tally with the capacity of the port to put transfer. That is how many containers can we take a day. So that is the number that should come.
Yeah.
Now, then when they now get to Festac or Jaw and all that, they will now move those that are going to be attended to next to what they call pre-gate.
Yes. Okay.
That is close to gate. Yes. You have Lily Pond, you have one or two other ones. So that is like the standby mode, where immediately you get there, you know your way straight to. Now, if there is no Nigerian factor that we know, if there is no huge corruption that we are having, when they know that, look, we have social number at the pre-gate, so they will be calling them in to enter in the same sequence, synchronized with the operation of the port. So that there will be no need for, look, I have capacity for 10. In the next 1 hour, I will have another capacity. Let them be filing in that sequence. That is the plan. And that was what it was being done manually before, which could still work. But because we expected that we remove human interference in the sense that the barcode, if you don't have it, the gate will not open for you. You will not be able to go in. Now, that is the job. But how are Nigerians now sabotaging it? Now, there are fake Eto now in town. And with the conspiracy of those at the gate, they allow the fake Eto to go in.
Wow.
So then, two, there are those that are genuine into barcode, but they are not actually coming in. They sell those barcodes to other people.
Wow.
I don't know how old were you when the days of contract racket or petrol subsidy racket. I will go and get an invoice for a contract. I can't handle it. I will give it to somebody who will operate. So barcode is being on a racket.
Sold.
And nobody can exonerate those are what we call the back end.
Of course.
That is those who are generating those barcodes. So without giving, during the day, they will now call you as legitimate barcode holder to online. You get to Lily Pond, that is pre-gate. Then you will not be sleeping there. Now in the dead of the night, they now call all those RNG, they now fill up the place. Then they now mock those at the pre-gate. I say, sit down there. Oh. Look, me, I've gone, I'm out. You, mister, and what do these people come through the illegal route? Between my two, there are 14, about 14 at the last count. And then nobody say, give us evidence. Tell them, it's difficult to wake up those who are pretending to sleep. You can only wake up those who are genuinely asleep. Sleeping. They are pretending they don't know. I will announce that, at least let me make 6, that people can go there. That's why I said it is doing catwalk, naked, visible, with high heel. So you know it can't run.
And shoulders high.
And shoulders high. And it means it is serious impunity that nothing can happen.
Can be done.
We at Orile there, they will collect money. And after Orile, there is Cifas Gate. They call around 10,000 there. Then after Cifas Gate, they have the top total. I mean, they are collecting around another 10,000 there. Then after total, they have Leventis. They are collecting around 5,000 there. Until they get to the main gate, they collect around 10,000 or even more. There is even they work on Urita issue. We have to collect about 20,000 or more.
Hey.
This needs not any investigation. There are camera recordings. There are a lot of, what do you do? In fact, a particular one was stated by the guy that came last time, that Hassan, that, look, they are collecting 11,000. Then the acting MD said, no, I don't know about it. It's not, they now say, look, this is the account we are paying in. Record the owner of the account.
Exactly.
And the name came up. Now they've now legitimized that the money.
Whoa.
So, look, that's why whatever we are doing, we really have to address the biggest elephant in the room. Because let me tell you, people, the money that is going home on a daily basis between that my two and the port is so huge that they can frustrate just anybody. But in the past, when we had this experience in the 70s, General Gawan called on Colonel Adekunle, was then a colonel, to clear what we call cement armada. It was that we were importing cement anyhow, because we were going into reconstruction after the war. So the head of state had to call on a crazy black scorpion, and he did it. Similarly, when Obasanjo saw that Abuja was being messed up completely, he asked in the look, I need a madman to handle I will this. Give all executive support. That is a little intelligent, a little smart. He knows what to do, and he will go and do it no matter whose horse is God. If I said, send me, I will do it. And it cleared Abuja. It cleaned Abuja. That's what I'm telling the governor, the minister, and Mr. President. In fact, for me, nobody can tell me anybody is fighting corruption when there is corruption alive and well.
So now, because I live there, I see the developments over time. Usually before, in the past, it was the entire stretch of Badagry Expressway service lane. I will just be sitting endlessly in traffic because trucks are parked and they're heading towards Apapa, Mile 2, verging through the Mile 2 seaports, what's it called?
Jetty.
There. And
they do that one they call batching.
Yes.
Sometimes they use boats to carry
it straight to Apapa. So now, along the entire lagoon stretch, Kirikiri to Ojo to Abule Osun, now you have verging happening on the water. I don't know how deep that is, but it's happening. So you no longer have trucks, except you're going to do import. To carry out, you no longer have trucks like that. You can see trucks going through the water, through to the bonded terminals. GMT particularly is right in front of my house, going through like that. So they no longer have to park on the stretch of the road. And you still have the one in Ojo. But when you get to Mile 2 to Apapa, it's like these people ensure that this system sustains so that they continue to make money from it.
There is no other reason.
If they can create GMT, Abule Osun, and they can create the one now in Ojo, in Teddy and Janiki, and then they're targeting Badagry as well, all around along the water. Why are we still having these problems? Why is Apapa prevalent? Why can't they say, okay, we have a state of emergency in Apapa now. Leave the roads. Because part of the problem is the state of the road. This is a simple business of import and export. If I come in and I don't have business of importing, why am I carrying container there? It's empty truck back I should carry. And moving out should not be hard. Why are we even doing all this Igbo of brigade and all of that? Why? Why is the system like that? Why, if we have a sample that is working, why are we not changing Apapa?
The idea is, you have gotten at it. If it works, there will be nothing for people
to benefit from.
Yes,
wow.
Because it is when you create confusion. Like, people normally want to obey traffic. I used to tell people that we are not too different from other people in the world. You go to US, people obey traffic because they know they will be caught.
Yes.
So you don't even try it. You beat your traffic light, the ticket is waiting for you at home. So you don't need to. So because people are not punished, so those who are obeying the law will be frustrated deliberately
to join the system.
So that when they say bring money, make you pass in the night, in the dead of the night, you will just be to say, look, I cannot continue this stronghead for long. And that thing is so huge. It's only the combination of federal and state. And people may now ask the question, the presidential task force.
What are they doing?
Of what did they do? They are no longer there now.
Yes.
Of vice president and Okwefa.
Yes.
You see.
Sir, hold your thoughts. Let me take this call. Good morning, Yakub from Dobemu.
Sister Nima, good morning.
Good morning.
Prof, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Long time, sir. I'm one of your fans since AIT days. I really love you so much, sir, because of your contribution to this country.
Thank you very much.
You always speak truth to the power. That's what you have just done this morning. In fact, I'm waiting for that profile. You normally back your statement all the time. Because I have to say that, Sister Nima, I think you were in this studio last week. When you brought somebody from that axis to come and explain what is going on there, a guy that's driving tanker, and then the guy made us to know that they always pay, I think, 11,000 naira per truck, if I don't make a mistake.
Yes.
And then you were asking who collected that money. He mentioned the name. Yes. At the end of the day, when they found out that these people collected the money, they denied. In fact, that very particular day, I was so annoyed that you did not give that guy enough time because he was heading to somewhere. You see, all these task force that the government we are setting up, they cannot do anything. You know why? Why? Because after the government goes there, in the first place, when he was elected, he says that he's going to make sure this place is clean up. Fine, all well and good. But Mr. Governor will never tell you at the end of the day when they find out that the people behind it, they were the close allies. Because if they are not close allies to the governor, even though to the federal government as case may be, even to the upper bar as the case may be. What is going on? They know those people beyond those, the powerful people in this country are beyond those things. That is the truth. The corruption is there. Nigerian government we voted for this government because we know that he wanted to fight the corruption. But here we are. The corruption is showing clearly in our faces. Nobody can do anything to that. Call that guy back to this studio next time. The guy has something to say. He has a lot of things to say. Good morning. God bless.
Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Do you have any response?
A quick one on what you said about people. There is one critical aspect that is the truth.
Okay.
Now, those codes, they grant some powerful people exemptions. And say, okay, Nima, I have 10 exemptions. Because she knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody at the top. So they will give her, she's not importing, she's not doing anything. She will now look for, okay, who will I give it to?
To buy.
Now, she may give it to, she may give it to somebody to buy outright, or in most cases, give it to another person. Now, sometimes it happens in the university. You may even, for example, I have one discretionary candidate for admission as a dean or two that I can say, okay, the guy is qualified, but did not meet the cutoff. But I want to use the dean's discretion, which is 2. Now, a junior staff will now come to me, and that particular course, I don't have anybody. Now say, okay,
I have somebody.
I have somebody. Whereas, so I will not just give freely. But what do you hear later? You will say that this guy has collected 250,000 for that slot. So some ministers, some people somewhere, they get this code, this passage for commercial, for favor, in cash or in kind, and give it to some people who will now, of course, multiply it because they must make profit from it. So you now have those lines of the illegal route blossoming.
So we're getting to the root of the matter, but let me take this call. Hassan from Lekki. Good morning, Hassan.
Please, this issue of Apapa gridlock is a typical case of corruption fighting back. And anybody that comes there and see the concept of money going to the private pocket, you will not see them ending up being part of the enemies of Nigeria. We are looking at the Apapa gridlock as just Apapa. It's a national problem.
Yes.
National problem in the sense that this is the gateway of an import-dependent country. The inflation you all see is as a result of that. Because the transporters are collecting higher and higher of more than what they were supposed to collect because of the corruption going on. When the idea of NPA came on this program, I mentioned it to her that what we are seeing here is a case of people abdicating their leadership responsibility. From the NPA to the Minister of Transport, to the Presidency, to the area commander, to the Naval, to the Army, everybody is responsible for this. And we are all suffering for it in Nigeria. So we should go back to the drawing board. That is the issue of Apapa gridlock. It's corruption. Corruption and nothing but corruption. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hassan.
You said something which I want to quickly not correct. They say it's corruption fighting back. That's not true. This corruption is alive and well. Nobody is fighting it. It's not fighting anybody.
Corruption is
on its own. It's alive and well. It's not that it's fighting back.
It's corruption untouched.
Untouched.
Okay, sir. We hear all these problems. And for me, it's who is supposed to keep an eye to make sure that even when people are benefiting from the system, I thought the Lagos State Task Force was supposed to do that. Or if I'm wrong, what body is meant to check these corrupt practices and report to who? There has to be a body that would make sure that whatever it is that they are benefiting does not benefit, it benefits that body more to report those who are being corrupt. Is there a body like that? Is that what the Lagos Task Force is meant to do?
Yeah. Let me give you about 3 steps. And for once, I will be diplomatic.
Okay.
You see, initially, the federal government set up the presidential task force with the vice president being the chair, Okwefa being the vice chair, and they selected the people from the forces, navy, and all that to clear. Those people, because it's a task force, it's not a standing committee. It's like an ad hoc solution that, look, set the template, then somebody will run the template. The success was not so good of the Okwefa for some reasons. And that's why I say I will be diplomatic a bit. Or let me say it. I think the vice president's panache weakened along the line. That is, the office of the vice president is powerful because that is as saying the president must be there because it's a ticket.
Yes.
So the idea is if the president is sending his own vice, he is there. So the panache, the figure with which they started wane for
whatever reason. You don't know that reason. Hold your thoughts, sir. Let's quickly take this call. Adeni from Abuja. Good morning, Miss Adeni.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I greet all of you, Neema, Miriam, BC, and the Prof. I want to say this very quickly. If someone like Okwefa that was asked to do a presidential passport job through the office of the vice president could not solve it, and many others who have come, the governor of Lagos State has tried to want to solve it, could not solve it. It means it's beyond everything. The president stepped up that passport, and that passport is good. My dear Prof, you know that nobody else solves the problem except the presidency. This racketeering, this cabal, these super people are there just doing what they want to do. And they are not concerned about the Nigerian people. They are not concerned about whether they are facing any national. I do something all over the country. So I know what I'm saying. I'm a second person to myself. So I don't pass anytime I say to Lagos, I avoid things like a slave. So I see things when you talk every day about that place. I just go into people say. The truth is that Nigeria is suffering. I live the first thing myself. I avoided them. That nobody can stop the president himself. And you need to call him and you need to shame those who are stopping that thing. Thank you very much. That was my boss. But I know I can do a very tough man. But you don't stop it. So they will not do it.
Thank you, Mr. Adeni. Thank you for that. Did you get what he said?
Yeah, I heard it. Only 2 things I want to react to.
Okay.
Number 1, Okwefa committee is not a standing committee.
Okay.
It's an ad hoc. Go and lay the template. So the idea was that once you lay it out, somebody should come and run it. And they made the recommendation who should run it. And that is the combination of Lagos State, LASMA, all the forces they have, and the federal government, Nigerian Port Authority, and the joy that Eto was coming on board. We were all excited. Yes. But that's why today I'm not discussing the techniques of how to get it going. Okay, I can say get Tinubu Park repaired. That is as a holding bay, is a solution. Make sure you have this, you have that. But if you do not tackle the issue of the rackets,
it would not matter.
It will be a waste. And it is doable. It's not as if this thing, because I mentioned 2 instances where if you have somebody that is sufficiently mad, that is sufficiently patriotic, and say, look, and I'm assuring those people who are eating, what they are eating is a small, whiny rat compared with what they will eat. And
when everything works well.
If everything is working well.
Professor, but how do you fight? How do you fight? Because tracing how this corruption is building, we will end up tracing it to leadership one way or the other.
No direct line.
Yeah. So how do you fight leadership when they are at the end of the corruption? Who is that mad person that would challenge the status quo?
No, you see, I'm relying on one little tiny hope that at the presidency, they cannot be happy because we need all the dollars we can get.
Yeah.
So anybody wants an economy to improve. Look, you can't tell me what they are collecting on the road is getting to Buhari. It can't be getting to Buhari. So at that level, I told you of how Obasanjo said, give me a madman. How Gawan said, give me a mad Benjamin Adekunle, the black scorpion.
Maybe there's no madman left.
Exactly.
No, there are. Yeah. There are. Let me tell you, I know many mad men that can do it. But
they will need the backing of...
that is it. It's not just that you are mad. You must have the support. In Yoruba, that man says, are you... Somebody who will send you on an errand and stand by you.
Godfather.
Give somebody like Fashola. Fashola will do it. If you say, this is your only assignment.
If you clear those shows, he can.
He can. So that's why I'm happy I am here, because my objective is to get somebody angry at the level of presidency.
So that they can move.
So that they can get one mad person that is knowledgeable, that will sit everybody. And I've said it. They should not confirm the new MD. They should make it part of his assignment. You don't clear this under 1 month. No, if you have something at stake.
I'm taking you back to task force.
When you find questionable how the new MD was picked in the first place, as soon as the old MD launched A2 and they made it fail, what were the issues that, why was it impossible for her to allow her continue? Why did they bring him in the first place? And then he comes in, you're looking at the problem, and you're now making a problem legit by approving an account clearly false.
The intrigues of the
office of that.
The removal of the first of all had to step aside, then later had to go, and there is no substantive appointment for now. I mean, the guy that is acting.
Offense, in fact, against her.
Let me say this: that is high wire politics. High wire politics. Yes, somebody stepped on somebody's toes
somewhere,
and that is all. That's
all you need to do.
Sorry, I'm taking you back to the task force. So what are we saying? You said it's an ad hoc committee. Are we saying that it's not needed?
The present task force or the last task force?
The present. You were taking me from the present, from the last to the present. I will need to understand what are they there for now.
Now the Apapa task force is laying the foundation. The present task force is the implementing.
So are they doing their job? Are they not doing their job? Why are their hands tied?
By their fruits.
You shall know them.
If they are succeeding, we won't be discussing that today. They are not, Fayenka, somebody said he's even from my place. I said, I've not met him personally. But the truth is, whatever he is doing, for example, I told my people when I send them on an errand, go and come back to tell me the report. You know what I mean? How difficult it is. Give me results.
Okay.
Until there is a result from that task force, nothing is being done.
Yes.
Nothing. And the government should give his essay, Fayenka, a matching order that, look, it means you just don't have the capacity to get it done. Because it is not partly a combination. What Apapa people recommended is what they are trying to implement in addition to it. That if you cannot do it, look, there's nothing wrong that, Oga, this job where you send me, I know if you do amo, then the governor will sit down, and nobody needs to tell the governor that the place is not succeeding. Whoever is deceiving anybody that place is working, then he's a pretender, and he hates this country so much. I repeat, when I saw some of them, that's how I came to know Asan that, tell your people, do they know that if this thing functions very well, what will be in it? Because, we sometimes work with the DAMFO, and Dr. Frederick, who's the Commissioner for Transport, is a friend. He was teaching part-time, pro bono, free of charge for our students. He was one of the best. Mathematical modeling, transport modeling is the best brain that I know in this country today.
Wow.
He can do it. He can model it. But that is not even his department now. His department is, the person in charge of that task force is Fanyinka. And he is the one that should be giving the matching order. Then, if you cannot do it, you now say, Oga, I know if you do it.
Resign.
It's essay. That one is a continuous assessment. Sorry, what do they call it? Just a side job.
Yeah.
It's not his job.
It's not his main job. Yeah.
So you can say, look for crazy people who can handle this.
This is the situation.
You can clean this situation.
What's
So
the solution?
The present solution, the number one. The rest, I will just be doing academic exercise.
Calculations.
I will do the academic exercise. The solution is we get somebody that is sufficiently... I mentioned the minister, although they will not, he himself will not want to take it, because being the governor of the place, he will not. But you need somebody of that pedigree who also is knowledgeable, because you don't get a madman that is a fool. He will not mess up the whole thing. Then who will work with a more technical team, but he will be the one to lead, to spearhead the... So that is... And that the federal government, General Buhari, I wish you were younger. I wish it were those days when, you and corruption, you cannot just meet. We are taking time to look back at corruption of 10, 20, 15 years ago. Whereas so do we now want to set up a committee to look at 20 years down the line at corruption that is going on now? So that is my main plank.
So the team the dream team will be president, this crazy mad person, and a technical
That is it. And that person must report straight to
the president. But do you think the president is very much aware of what is going? Because anytime he's coming into Lagos, they clear that place.
He's aware now.
They clear the place. No, he hasn't experienced it.
No.
We don't
You come in,
you
came into for a problem you've been reported to, but you don't see it. Of course, it's corruption. Who clear it? Let me take Facebook messages quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
Onake says, this is disheartening. Corruption and cabal is the problem. The country is finished.
Yes.
I can feel Nima's pain. The country is finished. There's a lot of corruption on the road to Apapa, even with uniformed men.
Yeah. I've been robbed there several times.
I always feel Nima's pain. I stay within this vicinity, so I know the problems. The traffic is more than gridlock. It's called Liberty Standstill. Yes. You can even hardly sleep when this truck move around 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Tunde says, the prof is just exposing the base of corruption in Nigeria. It starts from university admissions. Mazi Chukudi says, let us tell ourselves the truth. All goods must not come through Apapa. That's a fact. Open up other ports in the country, the congestions will disappear. And which is why I said there's a lack of political will. Some of the ports around other areas in the south just need... No! What's his name? Niger Delta Baba that was speaking, what was his name the other week, against the naval base in Kano. He was talking about the ones that just need dredging. Just clean it up. Edwin Clark. Just need dredging. And you leave those ports here, not working. Some on it. The road to One, it's just needs proper. And that one is not congested now. Nobody is going to do it as a relief to us in Lagos. Why must we die under stress?
Because the people that need to chop the money do not want that thing to
Because the money you're chopping does not translate to growth. And I know, because the governor is watching, that his entire intention is to grow Lagos.
Yes.
If he didn't intend it, there will be no relief for me on the Badagry Expressway now. The relief I'm enjoying so far that I can say, okay, I cut off this side, cut off this side, is because somebody had the will to do it. We need the will.
We do.
What does the president want exactly? Sanitize MPA. The directors and the level of people that are there are failed. Read them off and put new people that will do the work.
I agree with you.
Stop living, just changing the MD and leaving the situation, the problem. So because a new MD comes in, he just quickly fall in line with the people that are already there. And the person that refuses to fall in line will be moved on ceremoniously.
Yeah. Prof, we are wrapping up. So what are your final words on this?
Now, you mentioned other ports. Although it's a medium-term solution, the minister has gone there about 2 weeks ago. That worry on and all that, dredging to a particular depth level to help. And so that is one solution, because I can't go into the details. But I mean, there are other, Badagry too is another port that could relieve. But let me tell you, before that particular solution, I put the nation on alert. Lekki will soon become worse than Apapa.
Yes, so
everybody's
You
afraid.
have refinery there. You have a free trade zone there. You have also no
and
rail.
only one route in.
Yes.
No rail.
No water use. No nothing. Give us the next 3, 4, 5 years down the road. That place will become another dead end. So I mentioned alternative. Then 2, quick development of Bola Tinubu, Kapa. Federal government should collaborate with Lagos state government and get it done. If they need to use it for 10 years before they give it back to Lagos, because Lagos is the owner, there must be strong synergy, like they did for the Red Line.
Yes.
And they should now, at the end of the day, ensure that rail gets to the port, and the PPMT or whatever their name, they should enhance their capacity. Then the capacity of the port itself is suspect. They cannot cope now with the but now when you now have that compounded with the issue of corruption, you now have an impossible situation. So the ports should be given to, you see, I like giving deadlines. Look, I'm not being hard on you. Can you do this thing in 2 months? I can do it.
If not,
in fact, write your, like Bank of Obasanjo used to do, write your letter of resignation. So I don't need to call you and say you have resigned.
Just go.
Just go. So a critical situation like
needs
that
a critical approach.
You see, this nation cannot get out of our debt because, look, I have a village where they gave me hectares and hectares to do cashew. I said, I no go there. I will not go there because where are you taking it to? So for that, I think if this program is able to annoy somebody and say, okay,
enough,
and embarrass someone.
Yeah.
Enough to do something about it.
That's all.
Thank you so much, Professor Samuel Odewumi. You have been very insightful. Now we know most of the problems we have concerning Apapa gridlock and some of the possible solutions that we can begin to explore. If they call you for consultation, would you attend to the government?
Why not? What am I doing? What's my job? You see,
if YouTube are saying everything, they're appreciating your
thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all we can take on the show today. Till we'll come your way again tomorrow. Bye-bye.